Welcome to Bitcoin News Today on the 14th of December 2018. On today's episode, I thought it would be interesting to look back at the Bitcoin price history. In particular, the big drop that we saw from the 1st of December 2013, which lasted a really long time till the 1st of May 2015. So we saw lots of consecutive red months, just a few exceptions where there was green months back then, and that's very similar to what we've seen since the all-time high of the 1st of December 2017. We've now seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red candlesticks in a row on the monthly view. So we've had 5 months of declining Bitcoin prices and only a couple of months this year where the Bitcoin price went up. So we've seen really a whole year of drops. I've got the parabolic SAR indicator on here, which is these dots on the top, and that means that the parabolic SAR has said since the 1st of February that it's prudent to sell Bitcoin. And in the run-up from the 1st of December 2016 on the monthly view, it was saying to buy, so it's a very, very good indicator. Do recommend the parabolic SAR. I've got a lot on this chart actually. This red line is also Bitcoin shorts, which are currently at an all-time high on the monthly view. So for now, just ignore the other indicators. I'm going to, in particular, look at some news stories that we saw around about this time, and then I'll come to the technical analysis at the end for what's going to happen to the price next. So this article was on the 14th of January 2015. It says on the New Statesman website, slowly but surely, Bitcoin appears to be falling apart. Once seen as a better investment than gold, the digital cryptocurrency is experiencing existential threats. And it goes on to say that the media has become bored of Bitcoin as it became just another tech novelty like Google Glass or virtual reality. Not necessarily ignored though, major crises like fraud in the large Bitcoin exchanges, Mt. Gox that was, or a black market being shut down are still interesting, but post-bubble there's been very little of relevance to those outside the fields related to it. On the Business Insider website from the 14th of January 2015, they say Bitcoin is getting annihilated. The price of Bitcoin is continuing to crash, dropping as low as $173. According to stats from CoinDesk, it's down about $244 just a day before a drop of nearly 30%. Some people are beginning to worry that Bitcoin is stuck in a self-reinforcing negative price cycle. We've heard about that recently as well. And in this case, it's where Bitcoin hoarders are being forced to sell Bitcoin to meet their dollar-based costs, and the excess supply of Bitcoin cheapens its price, which makes dollar costs and debts even more expensive for Bitcoin holders. CNBC as well saying Bitcoin keeps falling and worries keep rising. This is from the 14th of January 2015, and it says following a 15% drop on Tuesday, the price of Bitcoin took another hammering on Wednesday, making some traders worry about the stability of the cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, which saw levels above $400 in November and topped out at $1,150 in 13, briefly fell as low as $170. So a massive drop there, before edging back a few dollars. Bitcoin is notoriously volatile, but its swings are often linked to news about the technological ecosystem that supports it, i.e. blockchain. This time, however, the source says the day's 22% drop is less obvious. And Forbes was saying back on the 29th of January 2015, Apple Pay and dollars are killing Bitcoin. The recent drop in energy prices has dominated financial headlines in recent months, with the fallout having been wide-ranging and somewhat conflicting. Consumers have received what amounts to a tax cut, and with more money to spend, that's good news for retailers. At the same time, stocks are experiencing a decent level of volatility plagued by many of the same factors that are causing oil to plummet, including soft demand, a strong dollar, and continued economic weakness across Europe, Japan, and even China. Things have not changed much since then. And this is a Bloomberg article from the 23rd of December 2014. 2014's worst currency was Bitcoin. It was a bad year for the Russian ruble and the Ukrainian, I won't try to pronounce that, but nothing short of catastrophic for the Bitcoin. And back in April 2015, there was no shortage of people who were being negative about Bitcoin, basically. And this guy, Peter Todd, a contributor to Bitcoin's open source code, has been very vocal about his opinions, and they aren't good for cryptocurrencies. He says that cryptocurrencies have a dreadful future, a dreadful long-term future. So people were saying negative things about Bitcoin then. They said that Bitcoin was going to go down to zero, but as we can see, the Bitcoin price did recover significantly from back then. Let's measure the increase up to the all-time high. It went up 8,780%, and to today's current price, it's still up 1,416 percent rather. And it's worth noting that there are 4 phases of market cycles, and they are all linked to human psychology, and this applies to all different markets. And the phases are: phase 1 is pessimism and fear. Investors who remained pessimistic for too long after markets around the world plunged have continued sitting on the sidelines, licking their wounds. Like most folks, their instincts betrayed them. Abject fear replaced logic. They sold most, if not all, of their stocks and funds out of concern that they held on, that if they held on, there wouldn't be anything left to salvage. And we're seeing loads of people saying exactly that same thing about Bitcoin right now. People are selling at a loss, worried that their Bitcoin is going to go down to zero. So the next phase, if we are currently in phase 1, the next phase is skepticism. So what's this saying? What this is saying is that once the Bitcoin price does start to increase, then we're going to see skepticism about that lasting. Then the next phase is optimism. And this is where we're seeing the Bitcoin price increasing more, and people are becoming optimistic that it's a trend that's going to continue. And then we get the phase of euphoria, and we probably saw this just before January this year, in December 2017, especially when the Bitcoin price was going up exponentially. When euphoria returns sometime down the road, accompanied by much higher prices, and everyone appears to be celebrating, buying Lamborghinis, etc., if you're smart, you will be selling. So remember to sell at the top, take your profits at the top. As J. Paul Getty observed on his path towards riches, buy when everyone is complaining and sell when they're celebrating. To every season there is a time and a purpose under heaven. Pessimism leads to skepticism, skepticism leads to optimism, and optimism leads to euphoria. So a great article there on the Forbes website. Let's look at the recent price action, because in yesterday's video I pointed out that there is a curve happening in the Bitcoin price action, and let's see how that is playing out today. Okay, so I'm now on the Bitfinex Bitcoin to dollar chart on the 1-day view, and we can see that since the Bitcoin price started to drop, it was in this unusual pattern that looks like probably, in my opinion, the beginning of a cup and handle pattern. So has it respected this price? Let's zoom in on this recent price action. So I've zoomed in now onto the 2-hour chart, and we can see that the price has slightly dipped down below this line, but it does seem to have acted as support, at least in the short term, In the last 2 hours or 4 hours here on the 2-hour chart, we can see that the price did bounce up, and we've only got the wicks of the candles going down, which does mean that this is acting as some support, although maybe I've not drawn it exactly accurately. And I've got the Bollinger Bands here that's in this cyan colour, and the lines started to expand there when we did see this more major move when the price dropped down. And we've had quite a good opportunity to short. I think I recommended selling around about here. So the price has dropped 6%, which isn't bad if you have shorted the price of Bitcoin. So I'm now looking for an opportunity to buy again. The money flow index did dip down to quite a low level, and then it failed to get up. I was looking for it breaking above 50 before we started to see the price increasing, but in fact it dropped down again and we got another leg down. So still in a selling mode at the moment, looking for an opportunity to buy back in, but I will be waiting to see confirmation of the price increasing, because possibly it could drop lower. But let's go to the 1-day chart and just check the money flow index there. So it was previously at a very low point on the 27th of November, now looking for it to go up again. It did start to go up but failed to reach the midway point, and it's dropped down further. So now basically waiting to see what happens in the next 1 to 3 days. Is it going to go up above 50, and are we going to see prices start to climb? Or maybe there's not enough, the bulls don't have enough power, and maybe the price could drop even further. Some people are expecting the price to drop to 3,000, which is down here. So if you are in a selling position, probably wait to see what happens next. And I'm starting now to look for opportunity to buy in. And if you are using the parabolic SAR indicator that I've got on here, then on your daily chart, or even I'm looking at the 2-hour chart at the moment, then the indicator that you're looking for to find a buying opportunity is where the indicator flips from the top to the bottom position, as it did here. Here it was on the top, and then it flipped to the bottom. So this can give you some good opportunities to buy, as long as you do act quick, which is why I'm normally watching the 2-hour chart. And you can set up alerts on TradingView to alert you when this does flip. So that's it for today's video. Do definitely subscribe, leave a like on the way out, and let me know what you think will happen to the Bitcoin price next. Do you think it's going to go down to 3,000, or do you think we've actually seen the bottom down here at 3,250 odd? Let me know what you think, and I shall see you again in another video very soon. Until then, check out this video, and bye for now.